Good afternoon and welcome to Warwickshire County Council. This is a public consultation for the Special Educational Needs and Disabilities Home to School Transport Service. Good afternoon. My name is Dan Jeans. I'm a Network Manager for Transport Delivery and I'm going to be talking through this presentation with you this afternoon. I have other colleagues here supporting me. My colleague Kevin Painting is also here with me and he's going to be managing any questions that get sent in. If there are any questions, we will do our best to answer live today if we can. If we're not able to do that, then obviously we will get back to you as soon as possible and publish anything on our FAQs online. Okay, so the purpose of this briefing today is just to go through the public consultation for the school transport service. We will go through those slides shortly. There are a few that we need to go through. It shouldn't take too long today. And as I mentioned, we have questions. So there is a question function. You can send questions into us live today and we will do our best to answer. If you want to go to the website, the warwickshire.gov.ask, there's full documentation on there, and also that gives you the option to send in questions either online, by post, and there is obviously all documentation about the consultation and other consultations on our website. Okay, so our vision for learners with SEND is that all of our children and young people have the right to lead a fulfilling life and to be part of the community. We want our learners with SEND to feel fully included in their local schools, wherever appropriate, by giving schools the resources and skills to meet their special educational needs. So this consultation is seeking to gather views on changes we're proposing to make to the SEND home to school transport service. So these are changes to the ways that parents and carers apply for home to school transport. They are the way that transport options are identified for eligible children and young people, and also clarifications to our home to school and college transport policy. So we're going to begin with the application process first of all. So the current arrangements are that parents or carers submit an application form online for transport once they've received confirmation of where their child or young person's school place is. The reason we want to change this is because the online form can be time-consuming and complicated to complete. We also want to change it because earlier applications will allow more time for our teams to plan a more efficient and effective transport network. And we also want to change it because earlier applications enable prompt communication to parents and carers and allow more time to prepare you for those transport arrangements. So for the application process, what we are proposing is to remove the need for parents and carers to make a separate application for transport. So instead, parents and carers would make an expression of interest at the same time as applying for their child's school place. Okay, so what are the potential benefits of this? So first of all, it would be simpler and easier application process, as we'd obviously be removing the application form completely. The transport options would be presented to families in a timelier way. Parents and carers would be given longer to prepare their children or young people for changes in their routines or to make alternative travel arrangements if required. And it would also allow a more efficient planning of the transport service altogether. Okay, now we move on to the second part, which is the Needs Assessment Matrix, or NAM for short. So what is it? The NAM is a tool that's been designed to help identify potential travel options for a child or young person. This is based on their level of special educational need and/or disability. So the NAM tool is meant to identify how we transport a child or young person to their educational setting, not if we transport them. The NAM will actually support assessments that are currently being undertaken, and this is to consistently signpost transport options. This does not mean that this will affect eligibility for transport. So what are the potential benefits of the NAM? So the benefits, the first benefit is a more inclusive, needs-based approach to supporting all children and young people. There's also a more consistent and clear decision-making process to identify the transport options. And also there are more opportunities to prepare young people for adulthood and to increase their independence. Okay, and we move now to the update to the home to school and college transport policy. So what are we proposing to clarify? So we're updating the current wording to provide clarification, my apologies, on the following. First of all, the council's protocol following any damage that occurs to a transport operator's vehicle as a result of actions of a child or young person. We are also proposing to clarify transport assistance for young people in supported internships, apprenticeship schemes and specialist placements. We're also clarifying the mechanism used by the council to understand if there is a need for a passenger assistant. And we're also clarifying the opportunity for parents and carers to transport their child or young person and received a direct travel payment contribution for any costs incurred. Okay, so I'm just going to go through some of those changes in detail now. So first of all, the general principles applying to transport provision under this policy for those of compulsory school age relating to behaviour issues. So the clarification here is that parents or carers will not be approached for repair costs to an operator's vehicle unless the damage is the result of a deliberate act. The second section here we're clarifying is the provision of transport for those of compulsory school age, transport arrangements relating to specialist placements. So this will be made clearer to parents and carers, children and young people that transport is available if the conditions listed apply. The next section we're clarifying is provision of transport for those of compulsory school age relating to passenger assistance. So this is clarifying the mechanism that the council will use in future to understand if there is a need for a passenger assistant on a vehicle. And the final section is the provision of transport for those of compulsory school age relating to direct travel payments. And we are looking for parents and carers to be given the opportunity to transport their own child or young person to school in their own vehicle and receive a direct travel payment contribution towards any costs incurred. Okay, so if you want to take part in this consultation, there are several ways you can do this. So first of all, online, we have a questionnaire, and you can find this by visiting our website at www.warwickshire.gov.uk/ask. You can send a paper copy of the questionnaire in, and any written response needs to be sent to Warwickshire Send and Inclusion Services, Shire Hall, Warwick, CV34 4SP. You can also send an electronic copy of the questionnaire or just a written response to us by emailing us at sendchange@warwickshire.gov.uk. Or alternatively, you can call us by contacting the Family Information Service on our free phone number, which is 0800 408 1558. And our phone lines are staffed Monday to Friday, 9 AM to 5 PM. So the closing date for this consultation is at midnight on the 26th of February 2023. Okay, there are other ways that you can take part in this consultation. We still have some drop-in sessions to take place. The first one is on the 18th of January from 4 PM to 6 PM at North Leamington School, which is on Sandy Lane in North Leamington. There is also another one on the 24th of January from 1 PM to 3 PM, and that's being held at Stratford's on Avon Sports Club, which is on Swan's Nest Lane in Stratford. We also have easy read versions, and our question and answers will be available online on our website at ask.warwickshire.gov.uk. Okay, so following this presentation today, what will happen after the consultation? So all of the feedback from today will be analysed and used to inform any changes made to all three parts, so the application process, the assessment, which is the NAM, and then to our home to school transport policy. Okay, so that brings me to any questions. Let me just double check. I think my colleague Kevin is here. He's just looking through our questions now. It doesn't look like we've had any questions live today, and we haven't had any questions up front. If you do have any questions, please do feel free to send those in. And as I mentioned, there are several ways of doing that. You can do that online via the questionnaire, by post, by email, or by phone. All of the details are on our website if you should do that. So just as a reminder, if you do want to get in touch or for further information on the consultation, please contact us by email at sendchange@warwickshire.gov.uk or by calling us on 0800 408 1558. And those phone lines are staffed Monday to Friday, 9 AM to 5 PM. Doesn't look like we've had any more questions. Nothing has come through yet. So first of all, I'd just like to thank everyone for attending today. If you do have any questions, please get in touch. Thank you very much.